If everyone would please stand, face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public notification of the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting has been published in compliance with the Freedom of Information Act requirements. The next order of business is review of the minutes of the February 24th meeting. Anyone have any additions, changes, corrections? Being none, is there a motion?
There's a correction.
Oh, there's a correction.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know who made the motion to approve, but it wasn't me.
Okay.
I can send it to Julie if you want me to. Whatever.
Okay,
Hi there. I can write it down if you want me to.
Yeah.
Do we know who it was?
it was probably me. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
You weren't here, right?
Any other corrections? There being none, do I hear a motion to approve as amended?
Yes.
Moved, second.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Last, the application, at the last meeting, there was an application for a variance at 313 Bayard Street. The applicant requested a variance from section 9.92D3 to allow a minor subdivision to create 2 additional lots. The property was further identified by its tax code. Property is zoned T4 Historic Neighborhood District in the Point. Mr. Blank made a motion to approve the variance. Mr. McMichael seconded. The motion passed unanimously. Any corrections to that? Okay. We now move to new business. You are on.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. I will be presenting the staff report for the variance request for 119 South Hermitage Road. The applicant is Allen Patterson Builders, and they're requesting variance from section 241C3 for 119 South Hermitage Road to allow a carriage house exterior staircase to encroach 3 feet into the 5-foot side setback. The zoning district is T3S. All the adjacent land uses are single-family residential, same zoning district. So a bit of background, it's a 0.8 acre size parcel. They're currently constructing a large waterfront property with an ADU at the front of the lot. The applicant, in order to preserve a specimen live oak, which is something that the city, in multiple areas of the code, but specifically in section 532, is always a recommended thing to pursue. So the variance would allow better site utilization, mainly by, again, building around the natural landscaping, the natural trees on the site, instead of just clear cutting, which is something we generally always try to avoid. So yeah, going right into, so here we have just the location. As mentioned, it's just all T3S, single family. You've got the marsh to the south, southwest. Here's the zoning map. Again, all just same zoning. And so here's some photos. We can leave it at this slide for a bit. I'll just hop right into the finding of facts. So actually, we'll go to the next slide. So 7 finding of facts. Say yes, the rationale is present for all of them. to just quickly go into the staff analysis for each one. So there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the property. Yes, the applicant's preserving a specimen live oak. Again, it's something that the city is always encouraged by the city. These conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity. Also, yes, in this particular instance, there's, at least the immediate surrounding neighbors don't have an ADU with, a live oak kind of right there near the property line. In cases where those same conditions would exist, we would also have the same opinion of allowing a variance request if they so came forth. The conditions are not the result of the applicant's own actions. Again, preservation of specimen live oaks is always something we ask for, so the city supports all efforts to preserve these trees. Granting of the variance would harmonize, not conflict with the comprehensive plan and civic master plan. Again, building around the natural landscape, preserving trees is a key component to the comprehensive plan and the civic master plan. And then because of these conditions, the application of this code would prohibit or restrict the utilization of the property, and the rationale is present. The application of this code section in this instance would conflict with the priorities set forth in the comprehensive plan and the civic master plan. And then finally, the variance will not be a detriment to adjacent property or the public good, and the character of the zone will not be harmed by the variance. Again, yes, the variance, if anything, will be of value to adjacent properties and public good, and the character of the zone will be enhanced, not harmed by the granting of the variance. None of the limitations apply in this particular instance. Profitability as well is not part of this, and so for our staff recommendation is approval. Specifically recommend approval of section 241C3 to allow the 5-foot accessory structure side setback to be reduced to 2 feet so that the exterior staircase is not encroaching and in violation of that code section on account of satisfying the aforementioned facts of findings as per the requirements of the Beaufort Code. That's all I've got.
Any questions of staff?
I do. I have 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
Well, first question is, I take this as a fait accompli, being as we're looking at pictures of the stairs already built.
Correct. Yes, sir. They were
Second
in
question.
construction.
Second question is, who's verified that's a live oak tree?
I went out myself with Ken Mule, our codes enforcement officer. I handle all the tree removal and tree pruning applications that come forth to the city. So through that process, I've developed the features characteristic of live oaks, the bark, the leaves. And so I can, with relative confidence, say that this is indeed a live oak.
Okay, so basically what you're saying then is this staircase is already built. The footers are already put in, everything's already in place.
Yes, sir. I believe the initial issue with it was that the staircase they were still going to be building around the live oak, but I think it was the root system protruded out further than what was anticipated. And so still to preserve the tree, they had to push the staircase a little bit closer into the setback.
Did this come in front of the city for a variance prior to possibly rerouting the stairs, or because they were already built, it just automatically triggered a variance?
From my understanding, I'm not actually sure. I'll probably let the applicant speak on to that specifically. From my understanding, I wasn't in the talks with this project specifically when it was first kind of coming through our review process. I'm not sure if alternative design, placements of the stairs was originally considered. Again, I'll let the applicant speak on to that.
Did it come across the city via an inspection, or what actually brought it to the
I believe it was, yes, with the codes enforcement officer, Camiola, I believe it,
Okay.
with him. Yeah.
Thank you.
Patrick, you have any questions of staff?
No, not of staff. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
They've got a representative from.
Would the applicants like to say anything?
My name is William Trask.
Oh,
Let's,
so sorry.
yeah.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Carl Young with Allen Patterson Builders. There was a question about if there was an application for
excuse me. Can you identify yourself, name and address, please?
Carl Young with Allen Patterson Builders, 21 Sands Point Road. There was an application from the builder for a variance to move the staircase from its original design, which would have harmed the roots of the tree that we built around, and it was granted. However, in order to get the staircase a little bit further away from the root system, it did encroach a little bit further into the setback than was originally anticipated.
Let me ask a really stupid question.
Yes, sir.
This is a brand new house
Yes,
on a vacant lot.
yes.
Why didn't somebody, the architect, Alan Patterson is one of the best builders in Beaufort County, or someone look at the plan and say, wait a minute, if we move it 5 feet, we eliminate this problem? You could have moved the driveway, could have moved the carriage house. I mean, I'm not saying that we will, but theoretically, we could deny the variance, require the whole staircase to be torn down and rebuilt somewhere on that property to comply with the code. It just, I mean, if you look at the code requirements and take them by the letter, one of the conditions is that the variance requested cannot be caused by the property owner. And in this case, I look at it and I say, duh. If the property owner had done what they should have done, we wouldn't even be here. That's just my comment.
You all, I don't remember seeing this in front of the board. You
No,
said?
I was gonna ask, you said it came up for a variance?
It wasn't, it was a variance with the city, it didn't go up for the ZBOA. I know we had we'd applied for, variance might be the wrong term, so, please.
I'm
But,
thinking it is because we didn't see it.
We did change the site plan so that the staircase went around this tree to save it rather than causing further harm.
Was that before the house was constructed?
It was before the carriage house was constructed, yes. If I'm not mistaken,
Are you guys the
at
property
that
owners?
exact date. Yes.
So. Get back on. The original site plan shows the stairs coming down, touching basically the side of the building.
Correct.
And I see that you've added a roof over the first floor, which obviously prohibits the stairs from coming down there.
Correct.
So when was that done?
That was done after the stairs were moved.
I'm sorry, what was done after the stairs were moved?
The roof coming off of that carriage house was done after the stairs were moved, after we had already
So,
presented that to the city.
right. 'Cause I'm talking about the first floor little shed roof that's
Correct.
coming out off of there. So which is what basically forced you to relocate the stairs, right?
No, that was added on after the stairs were already moved as a secondary. The owner saw that they had opportunity to put that in, so they decided that it would be a good idea. And that was after the stairs were already moved.
So why were the stairs initially moved then?
They were moved originally to prevent any damage to the root system of that tree, based on where the approved site plan was, based on where the carriage house was placed on the approved site plan.
Okay, and how wide is that staircase?
Roughly 4 feet.
It looks a lot wider than that to me if those are 16 inch on center stringers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Was
So
it
how
ever,
wide is it?
I don't have that exact dimension.
Okay.
was it looked at to move the stairs going backwards in this picture and not looping around that tree? Like towards where those cars are parked?
Towards the front of the house, towards the road?
That was not discussed, no.
And I believe code requires the stairway be a minimum of 36 inches width
Correct.
at the handrail height? Okay. So this thing could be narrower and less intrusive into the setbacks without violating any building codes.
We could look into that, yes.
Could be done.
Anyone have any other questions?
Thank you.
Anyone else? Would y'all like to, please just come up, you have to come up to the microphone, state your name.
My name's William Trask. I own the adjacent parcel, and we actually sold this parcel to the current owner and the builder.
So y'all are not the owners, y'all are
We're the owner of the
your
adjacent.
neighbors.
The next door neighbors.
And we're here in protest.
Affected
Yep.
adjacent
I
property.
grew up on that property.
You're the
So you're the other side of the white picket fence.
And I believe there, if you were to drive by there, there's a diminution of value with the placement of those stairs. I mean, it's the first thing you see. It's right on the road. It's a very large lot that they could have built it anywhere. So at any step during the process, until we get to this point, that staircase shouldn't be there. I understand the protection of oak trees, but I do believe it affects the value of our property just based on how it's right up against it and it's right on the road and there's nothing you can really do to abate that. And the way that those lots, I don't know if you guys saw that, those lots they kind of fan out. And so it's a narrow entryway.
Where's this in relation to William Trask? Where William Trask lot was, right? Is it the same? lot? The
I'm
same-
William Trask, I'm junior.
Okay,
So
so that was,
Yes, sir, we divided
that
that
was
lot.
your
now.
dad's, okay, I
Yes,
know
sir.
exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments? If that's the case,
I think I would like to know before we make this decision,
well, go ahead, Patrick.
how wide that staircase is. I think that's kind of important.
Can you make a phone call?
I would highly recommend you ride by there to see it from the road. Those pictures are somewhat misleading
like
because
it's
it's
about 5
right
feet.
there.
Guessing it's, yeah, I mean, if those are, that's 32, 48, my math, 64.
I mean,
5'4" if they're 16 inch on center.
yeah.
So the owners are not.
No, just a Island Patterson's one of the applicants, so.
If, if Mr. Trask is done, please come up.
Thank you.
I'm keeping the public.
I hate to
hearing
say my
open.
name.
Please give your name.
Amelia Cromer, 162 Spanish Point Drive, Beaufort. And I would just like to say, as a Beaufortonian, when you make an exception, then the precedent is set for another exception, another exception. And because this was a brand new build, they know that the setbacks are there. And why have zoning if we're not going to stick to it? And I know Alan Patterson well, and I don't, want to have to make him go to any extra work. But once that precedent is set, then it keeps going. And so, I appreciate y'all serving and doing what you do. So that was all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Now I'm going to close the public hearing and open it up. Oh, excuse me, is there anyone on the Facebook or Zoom?
No, sir.
Okay, there's no one virtual slide. Public hearing is closed. Comments?
I make a motion to deny the variance as written.
Did you find out
It's 4 feet wide.
4 feet?
So they still couldn't pick it up.
There's a motion to deny. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion to deny is passed. I would suggest that the owners and Patterson Builders need to get together with Kurt and figure out something and come back with, if it needs a variance, come back. If it doesn't, then, if you can do something, it doesn't need a variance, then that's great. Thank you all for coming. We have any other business? None? Do I hear a motion?
Motion to dismiss.
Second?
All in favor? We're adjourned.